Welcome back to the Makeforms tutorial series. In this video, we're going to take a look at the GDPR Agreement field in Makeforms and how it helps you create GDPR compliant forms. If you're collecting personal information through a form and plan to contact users later by email, phone, or any other channel you need their explicit consent under GDPR, this means users must clearly agree to be contacted. Consent cannot be implied or hidden. It must be given intentionally, usually through a checkbox. The GDPR Agreement field in Makeforms is designed specifically for this requirement. To add it, open your existing form with fields like name and email. Then drag the GDPR Agreement field into the form and place it near the end, just before the Submit button. Once added, you can write a clear consent statement that explains what the user is agreeing to. You can format the text to highlight important parts of the agreement and make it easier to read. You can also link this text to an external page, such as your privacy policy, and choose whether it opens in the same tab or in a new window. Now let's look at the basic settings for this field. At the top of the settings panel, you'll find the required field toggle. When enabled, users must agree to the GDPR consent before submitting the form. If they try to submit without selecting the consent option, Makeforms shows a validation message and blocks the submission until consent is provided. Use helper text to guide users at the consent step. For example, you can add a short message like, "Review the consent before continuing." You can choose to show this text as a small info icon that appears on hover, or display it directly below the field. If you want to display more detailed legal information, you can enable Show Legal Content. This allows you to include the full privacy or consent text directly inside the form, displayed in a scrollable area. Users can review everything without leaving the page. To make sure users actually view the content, you can turn on Enforce Reading. With this enabled, the consent checkbox remains inactive until the user scrolls through the entire legal text. This adds an extra layer of compliance and clarity. Enable Mark as sensitive data to protect GDPR-related consent information. When this setting is turned on, only authorized team members with the required permissions can view this field's responses in Makeforms. All other users will be restricted from accessing it. Use GDPR checkbox position to control where the checkbox shows up. Choose left if you want the checkbox to sit next to the consent text on the same line. Choose bottom to show the checkbox below the text, making the consent easier to read and notice. That's how the GDPR Agreement field works in Makeforms. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next Makeforms video.